In order to perform multiplication and division operations on decimal fractions, we also need to keep a few things in mind. First, we'll multiply the fractions by ignoring the decimal points. So we'll treat the numbers as if there were no decimal points, and then we'll multiply them as usual. Second, we'll count the total decimal places of the decimal fractions together. So in this example, we have 2 decimal places and then 1 decimal place. So total means 3 decimal places. And the answer will have that number of decimal places. So let's see an example. 3.32 times 2.4. So we'll arrange the numbers vertically like this without any point, and then multiply them. We'll get 7,968. Then you add the total decimal points, or find the total decimal points. In this case, it is 2 decimal places plus 1 decimal place, making 3 decimal places. And so we'll shift the decimal from the right 3 places, 1, 2, 3. And that will be our answer. Our final answer is now 7.968. There is an alternate way to solve multiplication of decimal fractions, and this is how we do it. Basically, our goal will be to convert the decimal fractions into the format whole number over a power of 10. Now, we do that following 2 steps. First, we'll multiply the decimal fractions, each of them, by the same power of 10. That goal is to eliminate the decimal point or move it to the right and form whole numbers. So the goal in multiplying the decimal fraction by powers of 10 is to eliminate the decimal point or shift it to the right so that we obtain a whole number. Secondly, we will simplify the resulting expression into the form whole number over a power of 10. So let's see an example. In this question, we have 3.32 times 2.4. Now, applying the steps above, we will multiply 3.32 by 100 over 100. And that will shift the decimal point forward by 2 zeros or 2 steps. 1, 2. We'll do the same for 2.4, this time by 10 over 10, which will shift the decimal point forward, and we'll get 24. So this is what we get as a result. And then we'll multiply the numerators and the denominators, which will give us 7968 over 1000. Now, we all know that when we have a denominator which is a power of 10, all we have to do is to shift the decimal point from the right, the number of spaces of the zeros. In this case, we have 3 zeros, so we shift it to the left 3 times, and we'll get at 7.968, which is the same answer we got in the earlier method. Now, we'll perform division of decimal fractions. And when it comes to this division operation, we will look at 2 scenarios. One with the divisor being a whole number, and the other with the divisor being a decimal fraction. So if the divisor is a whole number, we will have to perform just the normal long division without touching any of the decimal fractions. Secondly, if the divisor is a decimal fraction, we will have to multiply both the divisor and the dividend by the same power of 10. And the goal is to eliminate the decimal point in the divisor alone. Then we can perform our normal long division. The other method is to convert decimal fractions to common fractions and then perform our normal division operation. We'll see both examples shortly. In the first one, we have 199.5 divided by 7. And since the divisor is a whole number on this one, we just perform the normal long division while making sure that we have aligned the decimal points in the dividend and the quotient, as we've seen in this example. In the second example, where the divisor is a decimal fraction, we will have to convert it to a whole number by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by a power of 10, same power of 10, just to convert the denominator to a whole number. In this case, we have to multiply it by 10 over 10. This gives us 2.1 all over 1.4. Again, let's not forget that this operation of multiplying it by same powers of 10 does not do anything to the expression, because it is as if we are multiplying it by 1, which will just give us the same fraction. This is just an equivalent fraction, which has the same value as this one. Now we can perform our long division step using the whole number divisor, and all the while making sure that we have aligned the decimal point in the dividend with the decimal point in the quotient, and we'll get the same answer we got in the previous method. Alternatively, we will just convert each of the decimal fractions to common fractions and then perform our normal division operation. And this is how we do it. To shift the decimal point 2 places to the right, we will have to multiply this decimal fraction by 100 over 100. And to do the same to this one, turn it forward once, we have to multiply by 10 over 10. This gives us 21 over 100 divided by 14 over 10. And we'll just convert this one or change it to multiplication after we have found the reciprocal of the right-hand common fraction. This gives us 0.15 as we obtained in the long division step. So this is how to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division operations involving decimal fractions. Now it's time to practice.